DIY weddings. Is it really cheaper? Well, we've seen all of the Instagram reels and the Facebook reels, and we've seen YouTube videos. And yeah, these people show how you can make these things. And generally, the skill level is not that high. And you can make this sort of stuff, pretty good. If you know someone who knows how to make a cake, they can make a cake. If people are preparing food, yep, they can prepare food. Or you can make like an arbor or some of these floral decorations. You buy these fake flowers and you just get a bit of foam and you can stick them in. Yeah, all cool. It can be done and you can save money. But what a lot of people forget is on a wedding day, the bride and groom are focused on the day, on the event. And if you're relying on other people to do all this stuff on the day, there's a number of factors that you need to consider. Now, the first thing I would say to do before even thinking about DIY, it's not how much the items cost. It's, are your friends and family willing to put their hand up and say, hey, look, I am willing to help? And you want to have two aspects. Firstly, they need to be on board with your ideas. You don't want any conflict or arguments about, hey, look, I want blue and white flowers and, your mum wants red and white flowers because she had at her wedding, or she thinks it looks more romantic. And then you've got this constant disagreement and she's not putting her heart into it. So you want people that are putting their heart into helping you with your wedding, and they're willing to do what you want to do, what you want at your wedding. So that's the first thing. They need to be on board with your ideas. Two, you get a lot of people say, yeah, I'm happy to help. And then when it comes to the actual putting the time in, they go, oh, yeah, look, I'd love to. I can't make it. I've got this on and blah, blah. They make excuses. They don't turn up. So you need to make sure, are the people reliable? They're going to put the time in because it is a significant amount of time required. The third thing is, yeah, you've got all this stuff, but you need to have equipment and storage. So you may need to have, some drills, some electric saws, screws, all that sort of things to put things together. Or obviously, if you're cooking and it's like 50 people or 100 people, have you got the pots and pans and everything to cook all of the food, in a few hours? Otherwise, you can't be using the same spot cooking over and over again. It would take you too long. You'll be like going days and days before the wedding to try and do all the food. So have you got the equipment? So that's the thing to get this. And then the storage, you need to be able to put all this stuff somewhere, like even if you buy a big pan, big pot to cook, like where are you going to put it? Like, and what are you going to do with it afterwards? And same with all of the bits and pieces of the other. Have you got a shed? Have you got something? You need to be able to store all of this gear. Like same with candles. Like if you're probably doing like 500 candles, yeah, you can make them cheaper, but you got to buy all these glass tubes. You got to buy this special granular stuff. You got to put the things in. You've got to put bases on them, and all the bits and pieces and all the boxes that they all come in. You buy them from say China, wherever. You need to store them somewhere. So that's something you need to consider. And then the next thing is mobilization. When you cook all this food, if it's not at the site, at the community centre, it needs to be transported. If it's an arbor, it definitely needs to be transported to the site. Have you got vehicles capable of bringing that to site and taking it away? Same with if you get some secondhand chairs, or if you've got bouquets and flowers and all that sort of stuff, they need to be moved in boxes and brought to site. And are the cars that the people have who've put their hands up, are they capable of doing it, or do you need to hire a vehicle to be able to use to get it to and from? Because everything needs to go seamless on the day, because with weddings, time is always against you. So consider all those things and write it down and say, hey, look, what are people willing, what time are they willing to put in? What are they willing to do? Can you mobilize all the stuff to site? Where can you cook? If it's cooking, can you cook at the community centre? Do I need to have a venue that has cooking facilities, because that's going to make it a lot more seamless on the day? All this sort of stuff you need to consider before you DIY. Whilst if you're just employing someone, you're paying a fee. They have all of the stuff they can just bring to site. It's just seamless, happens seamless. They've done it all before many times, so it all goes like clockwork. So I'm not saying don't DIY, because DIY can be good, especially with smaller weddings. It can really work out really well. And some of these ideas they have on social media are really great. But make sure that if you're going to do DIY, that you tick all of the boxes that can impact on your day, because the people who will help you out will not be able to be involved as much with the day and the reception and the events as they would if it was being done by someone else. So that's the sacrifice you make. You know, your guests and family are spending time doing other things for you so you can get married at a cheaper price. So anyway, that's just my little take on DIY. Do it if you can, but I would suggest that if you're doing a lot of people, maybe best to look at packages from planners, because planners can bundle stuff, and it's amazing how cost effectively they can be, and your investment can be significantly less than DIY, which some clients have actually admitted to planners that, hey, look, it ended up costing me more than your package prices for a similar sort of wedding. So guys, that's all I've got to say on weddings. And just do your homework first to make sure you can actually do it cheaper. And I will see you next wedding vid.